Hi, I'm Sarah Hodgson. Come visit me online at When Dogs Talk or read my blog on the Huffington Post. Today, I wrote and speak about how to prevent your pets from getting ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes. Ticks, possibly the least lovable of all the multi-legged creatures, get very busy in the spring. Like their warm-blooded meals, they enjoy the cooler temperatures of spring and fall. So here we are in the midst of a seasonal tick outbreak, a tick uptick, if you will. And fleas, perhaps the second least lovable creatures, aren't far behind as they gear up for the hot and humid months, also thirsting for hosts. Mosquitoes are out there too, gearing up after a long winter's hiatus. In addition to searching for meals, they are scanning for stagnant water pools to deposit their eggs. On average, baby mosquitoes take 10 to 14 days to hatch, so scan your yard and upset any puddles. These irritating bloodsuckers are collectively known as vectors. They make my skin crawl. To conquer the onslaught, you need to think, well, like a vector. What do vectors think about? No surprise, really. Breeding and eating. That's about it. Understand these limited goals, and you'll be able to help reduce your pet's exposure and in turn your own. Ticks. Ticks love to lay eggs in the loose fallen leaves that accumulate in the fall. From these eggs emerge hundreds of new and hungry ticks. Homeowners beware. Rake out any leaf deposits that you may have missed last fall. If you're out there in nature, stick to well-maintained trails. The University of Rhode Island offers a fabulous resource site outlining, among other facts, the different habitats that various species of ticks prefer. Some like dense brush, while others prefer the tall grasses. Think you're safe on pavement and sidewalks? Ticks can be found there too. As ticks ride on their hosts until they're full, they can drop off in the most unsuspecting places, which can also include your home. If a tick bites your dog, Lyme's disease is but one of the many viruses that you may contract. Ticks also transmit ehrlichiosis, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and other viruses as well. Perhaps most disturbing is that one tick can transmit a cocktail, multiple viruses at once. Is there any good news to be found in this blog? No, not a lot. During this high tick season, be on the lookout for these pests. If you can remove a tick within 24 hours, it may not have enough time to transmit the virus. As far as your pets go, you can employ one or multiple forms of deterrents, from topical applications to yard treatments and collars. More on this to come. As far as fleas go, these flightless jumpers really do get around. While they prefer warmer temperatures and high humidity, they are found across the world, breeding on their hosts and feasting on blood. Living approximately 100 days, they mobilize from host to host with rapid determination and are a homeowner's worst nightmare. Eggs, once laid, roll off the host and settle where they land, inside or out. Each egg releases a worm, scientifically known as a pupae, that soon evolve into a flea that eagerly bounds away looking for another meal. Fleas can cause a host of diseases and deficiencies, including flea allergy dermatitis, hemoplasm, iron deficiency, typhus, and Bartonella, spread by cats, also known as the cat scratch disease. In the past, fleas were responsible for spreading the bubonic plague. Mosquitoes. Little needs to be said about this charming little vector, which in Spanish translates to little fly. Responsible for spreading yellow fever, malaria. In the past, the mosquito has recent claims to fame, namely heartworm and the West Nile virus. So what can a pet owner do? My friend, fellow blogger and radio host Steve Dale is on a feverish lecture tour educating pet owners on how best to protect their pets from these external parasites. We spoke during his stop in New York. He informed me that since our pets can't talk, many vector-borne diseases go unnoticed and unreported. I asked him about everything from the effectiveness of herbal remedies and yard treatments to topical sprays, repellent collars, and oral pet tabs. Here's my take. How thoroughly you divest into pest prevention is going to depend really on where you live. I live in tick-central suburban New York, so tick prevention is high on my radar. If I called Florida my home, I might be more concerned about fleas, or if my yard abutted marshes or stagnant pools, mosquitoes. Before I had kids, I would spend hours researching, preparing, and applying non-toxic remedies on my pets. I used flea combs after each walk and picked through their coats meticulously every night. I congratulated myself on avoiding commercial mixtures, but during that decade, both my dogs and I got Lyme's disease, and we had a flea infestation that took 3 months to resolve. After giving birth to human kids, I have much less time and far bigger concerns. Though I've not been a fan of toxic remedies and medicating remedies more than necessary, I've learned the hard way that prevention is worth a pound of cure. Now, in addition to yard treatments and herbal sprays, I've used bug deterrent collars on my cats, heartworm pills, and topical applications. For me, the key word in my discussions with Steve was repellent. These products we use should repel the vectors, not simply kill them after they bite our pets. Another tremendously key point Steve made was the difference between store-bought preventatives, which are far less effective, as noted on the label, and those purchased through a reputable veterinarian. What about online? I practically shouted at Steve, the convenience of which cannot be argued. Steve pointed out that some online vendors are selling expired treatments that may be ineffective, or less reputable products that may be more dangerous to our pet's health as well as less effective. As a nearing middle-aged mom responsible for a multi-pet household, it was a concern for my human inhabitants, as they're also susceptible to these vector-transmitted diseases, that really broke the straw. My pets, from the reptiles to the rabbits and all the dogs and cats in between, have found their way at one time or another onto our beds and routinely join us on the couch. For their sake, as well as our own, I keep striving to keep our homes pest-free. If you have any comments, anything you'd like to add, please log on to my Huffington blog post and add it to the comments section. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.